Good morning, children. In my last video, I have explained you this poem, What is Pink? And I have also explained you about the different colors. So before starting the poem, let me tell you, means just the gist of the poem. Like if we read the poem, children, we will get to know that the poet has talked about different beautiful colors, and she has also praised and thanked God that he made this beautiful world, this our mother nature, so beautiful and attractive that we can get a glimpse of heaven here. And children, when you just look around, you will see all the things, they're colorful. Black is also a color, white is also a color, and different things, different objects have different colors. So we live in a beautiful and attractive world. So I have explained about all the colors, and we have also read the examples according to the colors. So now let us do the book exercise. You have to put tick for true. You have to put yes, T for true and F for false for these statements. The poet refers to a rose as pink. So yes, we have read in the first line only what is pink. So a rose. It's true. A flower mentioned in the poem is the lily. No, we have read about rose, so it's false. The swan is grey in color. No, children, it's white in color, so false. The poet mentions two fruits in the poem. Yes, we have read about pears and orange, so it's true. The poem deals with all the colors of the rainbow. See, children, when we are talking about rainbow, one word comes in our mind, Vibgyor. It's when we say Vibgyor, V means violet, I means indigo, B means blue, G means green, then Vibgyor, Y, yellow, O, orange, and then red. So we have seen all the colors except indigo. We have not seen dark blue color. Indigo is dark blue, right? We have seen the blue color, sky blue color. We have seen violet also. We have seen all the colors except indigo. So false. Now answer these questions. According to the poet, where is the rose? So according to the poet, the rose is placed where fountains drink. I have shown you the picture also. Where does the poppy grow? The poppy grows in its barley bed. We have seen the poppy so beautiful red in color. So they grow in the barley bed. What is the swan doing? The swan is sailing in the daylight. Daylight means in the, you can say in the morning, and till the time the light is there. Pick out words from the poem which suggest that the pears are ripe. So the words from the poem which suggest that the pears are ripe are yellow, rich and mellow. And these are rhyming words also, yellow and mellow. During which season and at what time of day are the clouds violet in color? The clouds are violet in color in the summer twilight. Okay, summer is the season and twilight is the daytime, children. Don't get confused. Here two questions are given, season and time. So summer is the season and twilight is the time of the day. And children, when you write answers, take care that you have to pick some lines or group of words from the question only. Okay, like see how I have written, you have to learn how to frame sentences according to the questions. Now between the lines, does the poet describe the colors of nature in an appealing way? Means in an attractive way, you have to discuss. So you can discuss with your parents, you can tell them the poem, you can explain the poem, the summary of the poem, and you can also tell that how the poet describes the colors of nature, mother nature in an attractive way, beautiful way. Like as she says, everything in this world is created by God, and he has also put colors in every single object to make it more beautiful and attractive. And children, you know, he wants to give us a glimpse of heaven, so where we can go in our lifetime. So he makes this beautiful peaceful world for us. So in this way he describes different colors, different examples. She, not he. Now enjoying the poem, rhyme scheme. We will learn here rhyme scheme. Words that sound the same are called rhyming words. For example, frog and log, nice and rice. See, they are rhyming words. So now let's read these lines from the poem and then notice the rhyme scheme. What is pink? A rose is pink by a fountain's brink. What is red? A poppy is red in its barley bed. So children, what we can see here, pink and brink, they are rhyming words. Red and bed, they are also rhyming words. So let's see what we are going to read here. Let us work out the rhyme scheme of these lines. The last word of the first line is pink. Let's call it A. The second line ends with brink. And since this word rhymes with pink, so it is also A, like pink, brink. We will use them as A. We will put them as A. The last word of the third line is red, which does not rhyme with pink or brink. So we call it B. And children, bed rhymes with red. We have seen the third and fourth line, red and bed. So we also refer to the fourth line as B. If the rhyming words are the same, then we will write A. But if they are different, the words are different, then we will write B. So the rhyming scheme is A and B. Let's do an example, then you will understand it in a better way. Read this extract from a poem, means a small part of the poem. Underline the rhyming words and identify the rhyme scheme. So what you have to do here, you have to underline the rhyming words first and then you have to identify the rhyme scheme. The people along the sand all turn and look one way. They turn their back on the land, they look at the sea all day. So we have seen here, children, sand, land, way, day. They are rhyming words. Sand and land are rhyming word, way and day are rhyming words. So let's take sand as A. So land will also go A because they are rhyming words. So sand and land A. Now way and day, they are different than sand and land. So they will go B. So I will write like this, A, B, A, B. So the rhyming scheme will become A, B, A, B. Now this is writing part. You have to compose a short poem on your favorite color. Take any color which you like the most. And then please give rhyming words at the end and then use write a rhyme scheme also for that. Now recitation, children. Recite this poem in class. The paint box. See children, you can see a beautiful picture here. A paint box is there where 12 colors are there. Paintbrush is there. So let's read the poem. Cobalt and umber and ultramarine, ivory black and emerald green. What shall I paint to give pleasure to you? Paint for me somebody utterly new. So in the first stanza we can see ultramarine and green. They are rhyming words. You knew. They are also rhyming words. So the rhyming scheme will be A, B, B. I have painted you tigers in crimson and white. The colors were good and you painted her right. I have painted the cook and a camel in blue and a panther in purple. You painted them true. Now white and right. Again they are rhyming words and you will write A. Blue true. They are different from these two. So you will write B. So again it is A, B, B. Now the last stanza is, now mix me a color that nobody knows and paint me a country where nobody goes. And put in it people a little like you, watching a unicorn drinking the dew. Now nose goes you dew. Again A, B, B. It's written by E.V. Ryu. And children, one thing I want to tell you, colors. We have learned the spelling of colors, C-O-L-O-U-R-S, right? But this is the American spelling of the word. Like we learn British English. So in British English, we write like this. Okay, in American English, we write C-O-L-O-R-S. Children, when you will type in laptop, computer, there also you will find that if you are writing C-O-L-O-U-R-S, they will underline it with red color. It means according to them it is wrong. They are taking this C-O-L-O-U-R-S. Many places we will see M-R dot, Mr. Some places we will see M-R. Why? Because there is a difference between American and British spelling. Okay, so both are right, children. So children, I have explained you the poem, summary of the poem, everything I have explained you. We have done the book exercise also. So I hope you have understood the chapter, children. So that's all for today. Thank you.